How is it that Shanny doesn't get as much criticism as Wilks? I'm with you. You lose one piece and can't adjust. Why not CMC into the Debo role, Mason into the running back role? I agree with you as well. I think that Shanahan has more skins on the wall than Wilks. I totally understand that. But again, for me, I'm with you here. I'm more upset with the 49ers offense scoring 17 points 3 weeks in a row on that 3-week skid than I am the 49ers defense. The 49ers defense, 19 points allowed, you lost. 22 points allowed, you lost. Now, the Bengals game, you want to put that on the defense. I have no issues. And it's not like the defensive performances of the Browns or Vikings were stellar, but you hold a team to 19 points, you should win that game. You hold a team to 22, you should win that game. We have a 30-point offense per week. And, the criticism should be wide instead of so narrowed on Steve Wilks. And I'll tell you this too. The 49ers have allowed the fourth fewest points in the NFL. Fourth fewest. Come on, guys. Fourth fewest. Now, the offense has scored the fourth most points. They're symmetrical. From Pro Football Reference, we have the most interceptions per game. I think there's one team that has 12 interceptions. We have 11, but they played one more game. So, PFR has us, number one. We're turning the ball over, and we're not getting that many. We're not giving up that many points. You're giving up a lot of efficiency. It has this defense played to the caliber that we want. No, but neither has the offense. Neither has the offense. And I think that's the issue. That's what really bothers me. Right here, D-Flow. Kyle needs to be better in time management. Can't leave timeouts and have more urgency when down 14 points with a hurry-up offense. Practice on the 2-minute drill. I was at training camp and they practiced it. Yeah, I don't know what their weekly practices look like. They kick everybody out, so it's not even worth it to go for me. But it's a mess. It's not great. When Kyle Shanahan goes one-dimensional, pass-heavy, bad things happen. That's all that there is to it. And that's his de facto games within one score. Throw the ball. Not the way our team is built. Not the way Brock Purdy's built yet. He's only 23. Perhaps he could be that, but we haven't seen it. That's not the way we're built. Big Papa says, Johnny Dale says our defense just has to do their job, stay assignment strong. We'll be okay. I agree 100%. Fred Warner is incredible, and he's doing too much out there. He's playing Superman, and we're paying the price for it. Same thing that happened last year, though, and that was a different DC. Our defense is better now than it was the first 8 weeks last year. We're ranked way above, and that was with D'Amico. I love D'Amico. But, people always want to point and figure out somebody. I understand the anger. I get that. But it's what it is. Thomas, I keep getting this comment. Shanahan does not trust Mason in pass blocking, but what's stopping him from running him like a sledgehammer against the defense on running plays? I'm with you completely. You watch those handful of plays Elijah Mitchell got, they were terrible. He literally tackled Christian McCaffrey on one of the plays. Piddledy drew the whole thing off sides, but Elijah Mitchell's been awful. 3 straight consecutive games. I know that he's been great in the past, but there is no way in the world Jordan Mason could be that bad for one game, let alone 3 consecutive games as Elijah Mitchell. He has negative yards total over 3 games in a row. So the pass pro thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. You can't be as bad as Elijah Mitchell has been. And I love Elijah Mitchell. And I hope that he comes back and looks like his former self, because right now that's like a cuttable player. You don't cut him, but he has played so poorly. I would not allow him to have snaps for the next few weeks, personally. Jordan Mason's way better, more impactful. It grosses me out. You don't have to have subpar play whenever you have Jordan Mason back there who's never put up that tape. The tape that Elijah Mitchell has put up 3 weeks in a row, not one of those reps are as bad as Jordan Mason's worst rep in his career. That dude's got 20 plus bad reps in a row. Is it all his fault? No. But at some point, you got to do something positive, and he hasn't done it 3 consecutive games. Jordan Mason's never had a bad snap. Literally, the second highest rated player we have, PFF, You got to give them a chance. We're not even seeing it. I don't understand. Makes no sense. Ed, John, you said they've had time to reflect. They're tired of hearing about it. Perfection, what perfection is, and it's on its way back. Dude, I'm with you, man. You got to respond. And I think that the Niners have that opportunity. Now, one of the emails I got this week from Russ, shout out to Russ L. He said it seems that offenses are countering Bosa in the pass rush by getting the ball out quicker. Does this affect draft strategy regarding value back into the defense and all that stuff? If quarterbacks are getting the ball out within 2.5 seconds, should we address defensive back with some of these first round picks? I don't think the Niners are going to change what they're doing. I really, really don't. I think the Chase Young trade further exemplifies that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are completely bought in. They want the best edge players. They want the best defensive line players. And that's where their money is wrapped up in moving forward. That's where their draft capital is wrapped up in. I don't think they're going to change. The Chase Young trade, they could have traded for a corner. They did not. Instead, they doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on the edge pressure. So, Rush, your question, should they change? I don't know. If you told me as a defensive coordinator, as a head coach, teams are scared of your pressure and they're going to throw the ball in 2.5 seconds or less all the time, I would say perfect. So you have to counteract that. That's a huge advantage because now you don't have to worry about super deep shots. You don't have to worry about play action, all these kind of double moves, whatever else. You don't have to worry about that. Keep it all in front, rally tackle. And that's what the Niners haven't done well. So if you promise me teams are going to throw the ball before 2.5 seconds all the time, I'm fine with that. Now, certain quarterbacks can take advantage of that. Joe Burrow doesn't care if pressure comes in. Kirk Cousins doesn't care if pressure comes in. And they took advantage of it. But I'm all right with that. If I could stop the run and force the team to throw in 2.5 seconds or left, that limits so much of the playbook of the opposing team. So will the Niners change their philosophy? Absolutely not. They won't. Should they? I'm a little closer to 50-50, but you mean to tell me they're always going to do that? Fine. I have no problem because that just limits everything that they can do. We can predicate so much more of our coverage just to allow short, consistent throws, rally, make the tackle. We're a great tackling team. We haven't been the last 3 weeks. That's a winning scheme. That's a winning value. You pair that with, we're going to run the ball effectively on offense. That's complementary football. We're not going to turn the ball over. Okay. We're not giving up explosives. Okay. But whenever one of those things goes out of whack, it affects everything on the opposing side. And when the special teams then drops the ball, when finally your offense or defense gets to shut down, finally your offense puts your team in a position to win, and then finally the special teams drops the ball, that's a killer. And I think what teams don't understand or don't do well in the NFL is playing exactly that. And that's complementary football. You do that, you're going to win some games. Now, this right here, I'm showing a picture. This shows the EPA, offensive EPA, further to the right, the better you are offensively, and defensive EPA, the further up to the top of the chart, the better you are. So top right are elite, bottom left are terrible, right? 49ers are the furthest top right of anybody here. There's 4 teams in this elite category: Ravens, Niners, Bills, Dolphins. Now, this doesn't take it. This is EPA, so per play. That's a large sample size. There's a lot of plays. The 49ers are above average team defensively. They are much more efficient offensive wise. But like they're in this elite territory. They really, really are. Now, the second round of players is Cowboys, Chiefs, Eagles. And I know somebody sit there saying, well, the Eagles and the Chiefs have the best record in football. That's sometimes the ball's got to bounce your way. That's just the way it goes. Now, the Jaguars, who we have this week, they're in the third tier. They have an above average defense, but a below average offense whenever it comes to EPA. They are not on the positive side, but their defense has been really, really good. And so for me, these are the things that are important whenever you look at what the Niners can be versus what they were the last 3 weeks. You messed up one part of this equation. Sometimes the offense is letting down the defense with turnovers and 3 and outs. Going back through the film just from last week. In the opening quarter, maybe the second quarter. In the opening half, you had 2nd and 2 twice and went 3 and out on both of those drives. How is that possible? 2nd and 2 and you went 3 and out twice? That's not efficient offense. That doesn't help your defense. It doesn't help the field position. That's not who the 49ers are, right? That's not who they are. Will that help getting back Debo? Yes. Will it help getting back Trent? Yes. But even without those guys, you cannot just sit back and be like, oh, shucks, man. Like, that's not how it works. You got to overcome adversity. And the Niners have been great at that. Can't let the loss of 1 or 2 players, be it injured, ruin everything. That's just not winning football. Overcome adversity. The Niners haven't shown that they could do that yet. Thankfully, they're getting back enough players that they're going to be able to build and flex on teams just because they have such a better roster.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.